Hey there, English learners. Welcome to our 100 Adverbs in 100 Days challenge. Yes, you heard that right. For the next 3 months, I'll be with you every day for just 5 minutes, helping you master the most essential adverbs in English. Sounds like a lot, right? Well, don't worry if it seems tricky at first. The key is to stick with it. This is my secret technique for leveling up your English. Listening to explanations in English will not only boost your listening skills, but also improve your vocabulary. So, are you ready to get started? Let's dive in. All right, today's adverb is a fun one, but before we jump in, I have a quick quiz for you. Ready? Here we go. Which of these adverbs is most similar in meaning to surprisingly? 1. Astonishingly. 2. Regularly. 3. Typically. I'll give you a second to think. The correct answer is astonishingly. Why? Because both surprisingly and astonishingly express something that is unexpected and causes wonder or amazement. Great job if you got that right. Now let's talk about the feeling behind surprisingly. Imagine you're opening a gift, and inside is something completely different from what you expected. Maybe you were expecting socks, but instead you got a puppy. That moment of shock and excitement. That's the feeling of surprisingly. It's all about something unexpected but noticeable. So, where can you use surprisingly in real life? Let's say you thought you failed a test, but when the results came back, you passed. You could say, surprisingly, I passed the exam. That's one way to use it. Or maybe your friend who never cooks made you dinner, and it was really good. You could say, he is surprisingly good at cooking. That's another way to use it. And here's one more. Imagine you were expecting a cold day, but it ended up being warm. You might say, the weather was surprisingly warm today. So, surprisingly helps you express those unexpected moments. Now, surprisingly is a powerful word, but it's not the only one. It's sometimes confused with unexpectedly or astonishingly. Let's break those down together using the same situation. First, surprisingly. Imagine you're at a party and you didn't expect John to come. But then, suddenly, there he is. You'd say, surprisingly, John showed up to the party. This tells us that you were a bit amazed to see him there. Now, what about unexpectedly? This is more neutral. If John showed up without any notice but you're just stating a fact, you'd say, unexpectedly, John showed up to the party. It's just a statement of what happened, without that extra feeling of surprise. Lastly, let's talk about astonishingly. If you're really shocked because John never goes to parties, you might say, astonishingly, John showed up to the party. This implies that you were not just surprised, but almost couldn't believe it. Now it's your turn. I want you to try using surprisingly in a sentence. Think of something that happened to you recently that was unexpected and share it in the comments below. I'll be checking and giving feedback, so don't be shy. That's it for today's lesson. Remember, it's not about getting it perfect the first time. It's about practicing and getting better each day. Stick with me for the next days, and your English will skyrocket. See you tomorrow for another adverb adventure. Until then, keep surprising yourself with how much you can learn.